Hey guys, in this video, I want to talk to you about the 12 reasons to live stream your podcast. So, it's created for podcasters, and welcome to Feisworld Media channel, a channel created with lots of product reviews and tutorials for content creators just like yourself. We target YouTubers, podcasters, speakers, and authors. Let's get started. Reason number 1, why would you live stream your podcast? Because it significantly reduces production cost. That's right. If you go live with your show, then it's literally no cost other than the software you're purchasing. Speaking of which, thanks to today's sponsor, Restream, and they allow you to go live on more than 30 platforms. More on that towards the last tip, and we'll tell you more about Restream. Reason number 2, creating highly engaging content on the fly. You'll be surprised when it's unprompted, and when you're under pressure, you can actually produce a lot of really interesting content that will stick around. So give it a shot and really appreciate little moments that you react while you're going live. Reason number 3, you can brand the live stream however you want. So today we mentioned Restream. There are other brands as well. The point is that you can introduce a lot of visual elements that you can design directly from within Restream because they come with a lot of really cool backgrounds and overlays, but you can also design your own. I've included a video on how I design lower thirds, and that means that you can include your name, your title, the book you're publishing, even a copy of your book, a copy of your podcast cover, let's just say. The possibilities are infinite, not just you, the other person, or the other people. Yes, you can go live with more than one person on Restream. You can share branded elements for them too. Reason number 4, you'll be seen as a podcast pro. You know, back in 2020, I predicted that Livestream will be a household name by the end of 2020. Well, sort of. The truth is, still a lot of people, including podcasters and content creators who are really seasoned, are not live streaming. I get it. It's tough, right? To go live for the first time, for the first few times. Who's watching? You know, what if I need to pee or need a sip of water, or if I don't feel well? Well, you're overthinking because only you're thinking that way. When you go live, you actually differentiate yourself from the crowd. Think about it. If only a small percentage of the podcasters are going live, that's just going to make you stand out from the crowd. Take advantage of the shyness from so many other podcasters and let you be the one who go live today, tomorrow. Reason number 5, together you and your guest or guests are learning something new together. Guess what? Before, during, after the show, if that's gonna be your guest's first time going live with you, that will be really intriguing to them. They wanna learn more, and you might hear things like, wow, this is the first time for me to go live. I'm kind of enjoying it. And by the way, could you show me how to do that? What is the software you're using? Which leads to reason number 6, which is because you now know how to live stream as a podcaster, you're now an entrepreneur in general, a creator in general who know how to live stream. And you can make it as part of your service. Even if you didn't anticipate this, to say, you maybe think, I don't want live stream to be a part of my service, but people are going to ask because they want to know how to do the same. Reason number 7, let's not forget that because your guests and maybe your listeners are intrigued, as a result, you drive more interest to your show. All of a sudden, Feisworld Podcast, where your podcast is no longer a show that you consume exclusively on Google Podcasts, Apple, Spotify, or Overcast, right? People can now watch you live. There's something really kind of urgent and important when somebody goes live. Even it means that you feel like other people where everyone is going live, that's simply not true. When your cohort, when your super fans, your tribe realize that you're going live, they want to tune in. And reason number 8, because now there's more interest to your shows, your listeners are intrigued. Guess what? You're going to intrigue more potential guests as well. Now you can actually sort of significantly reduce the outreach time. More people are going to discover you, brands, people, more referrals. So what I have witnessed since 2020 after going live is all of a sudden, I'm getting a little bit bombarded by people who are discovering more about me and my show. More people want to work with me and discover more about my consulting services outside of this whole YouTube endeavor as well. Reason number 9, you can repurpose the idea of live stream for all other business intentions and purposes. In fact, these days, speakers and publishers as well as authors, they're all very interested in going live. So if you want to take this seriously, either as a consulting service or just something that you use to introduce yourself, to attract other people's attention, these folks will come to you. And you can help them adapt Livestream to make it work for them, whatever that may be. One area, for example, I realize is live streaming is very interesting for local businesses. Even smaller mom and pop shops can go live to talk about their products, what the process of making ice cream, coffee, desserts. These things will attract so many people's attention. Tip number 10. I don't think I've ever come to this gesture before. Anyway, tip number 10 is you can still share your content on other channels however you want. Yes, just because that you've gone live already doesn't mean that you can no longer share your episode on Google, Apple, and Spotify. I'm naming the major platforms for now. A lot of people are thinking, well, will people still come because I've already gone live? Here's the truth. Not everybody is able to tune in live when you go live. Do not neglect your existing audience, your RSS feed. They're still waiting. These subscribers still want to listen to your show on the platforms I just talked about. So that's exactly what you can do. On top of that, don't forget we're on YouTube, and YouTube has this really magical algorithm to help you and expose your content to more audience. And definitely YouTube has always been one of the platforms that I go live on. And what is the result, you may be wondering? Even though I have been podcasting for a while, since 2014, we are a small show. And what I have witnessed as a result of live streaming on multiple platforms such as Facebook, page, groups, personal profile, let's see, Twitter, LinkedIn Live, thank you, I got approved, and I got YouTube as well. Now I'm tripling the number of my downloads, and I'm really pleased about that. Reason number 11. It's a preview of your unedited episode. If some folks are really interested in the highly produced, the polished, whatever, it's defined by you, then they can stick around, they can listen to your show on all the regular podcasting platforms. However, if people are more spontaneous, they may want to join in while you're going live. But they can also tune in after you go live as well, because those assets on Facebook, on YouTube, they will stick around. Now people have choices. What I'm also hinting at is that you are now growing a different audience. What I've discovered is that some people enjoy the edited episode, polish. Some really enjoy live content. And there is a group of people in the middle who sort of don't mind either or both. So now you're approaching different people. But there's another dimension to all of this. Depending on where you go live, you're also growing a new audience, because people on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn are very different from one another. Sure, there are overlap, or there's some permutations of overlap among these platforms, but you can reach a lot more people if you know how to do it right. I don't want this video to go on too long because I feel really passionate about live streaming, podcasting, creating content on your own terms. And I want to produce more content like this to also talk about mindset, to talk about lighting, video setup, different pieces of the technologies, Restream being one of them. I'm going to list a playlist below. I really kind of delve in how I use Restream through Zoom so that my guests don't have to learn anything new. Now, I've also gone live with Restream Live Studio. I also had fun there as well. So you have choices, and none of this is highly technical. Restream and similar platforms are designed in such a way that anybody can pick it up and just run with it. Reason number 12. Now, this is the final tip if you're still watching. We're back to Restream. Restream allows you to go live on more than 30 platforms, not just the ones I listed, not just the ones that you're familiar with. Give you a hint. You can go live on platforms outside of the US, North America, platforms you can't even name. Now that's really intriguing, and I can't wait to produce tutorials and to talk about that because, for instance, the Chinese platforms are just fascinating. You don't have to be a pop star, you don't have to be a top podcaster, but when you are capable of engaging with a Chinese audience, then you're going to not just triple, but quadruple your audience overnight. I'm not kidding. It is really easy to grow your numbers if you're able to target the Asian audience. And because of that, when you go live on multiple platforms because of Restream, it just saves you so much time and effort. You go live instantaneously. You don't have to do anything. It's a single button push, and you're able to expose yourself, your show, your content, and your ideas at the end of the day to so many different people because the audience, they do not overlap much. on these platforms. They have very different thoughts, behaviors, preferences, and you can engage with them that way. So it's just fascinating all around. If you like this type of content, be sure to give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you find it uninteresting, unhelpful. And if there are any other questions you want me to answer and address, please leave me a comment below. I reply to all of them, and I love checking in with you guys. Thank you so much for being a subscriber, follower, and I hope to turn some of you guys into super fans and learn more about Feisworld. I do love talking about business, personal finance. I love talking about how to be a profitable content creator. Yes, not just celebrate your creative freedom, but your financial freedom as well. Love to this community, and I'll see you in the next video. Mwah!